Okay, everybody, welcome to the final plenary session. Hopefully I pick up the right slide here. I'd like to thank you all for coming to the final session. The final session is really the closing of the conference. It's an opportunity to honor committee members who will no longer be members of the committee and who have stepped down this year. It's an opportunity to reflect on what has been a fun-filled, funly packed 2 days. We've actually packed a huge amount in to the conference, and we've had 106 papers presented, which have encapsulated 15 different themes. We've had 2 keynote plenaries, which have been 4 keynote addresses. We have had a really collaborative, interactive Langford lecture. We have had some really good discussions at lunchtime in the cafe, and we've had some really good discussions in the cafe outside of the parallel sessions. Certainly, the parallel sessions presenting the papers have been hugely interactive. I've been in most sessions, and I've been in most parallel sessions in one room or another, and I've certainly found that people were engaged and actually having really good interaction and discourse. I thought from a personal perspective, I thought the link between the 2 keynote sessions and the Langford lecture was immense. It certainly has given the ARCOM committee food for thought in terms of next year's conference, but also what actually might happen in between that conference in terms of workshops around collaboration, around the whole notion of the urban studies and the linkage between construction management. And certainly, we would encourage everyone who's part of the ARCOM community to engage with us, to give us your ideas, to certainly put forward elements that you think we could bring forward for the future betterment and progression of construction management research. I have to say, having looked at the presentations when they came in, the quality of presentations this year has been actually really, really excellent. The quality that people have at the time people have spent in their preparations of their presentations has been really good, and that's something that Chris Nielsen commented to me in comparison to last year. His work in terms of editing the presentations for sound quality, etc., was far less this year than it had been last year. So we've clearly improved and developed from last year. And we've gained lots of unintended skills and competences following our engagement in doing conferences online. And I have to extend a huge thank you to you, the community, because without you, the conference wouldn't be the success that it is, and you have all stepped up and really engaged this year. So thank you. Thank you for that. Basically, we're going to move over to have David present, Professor David Boyd present his prize giving. He has prepared a video, so we'll move to that. I'll follow that up with some commentary, and we'll have some interaction there. And then we'll move over to Apollo, who's our incoming conference chair, and Apollo is going to give us an update on where things are at for 2022. So without further ado, I'll bring up David's presentation. And
ARCOM Prize Ceremony 2021. My name's David Boyd. I'm from Birmingham City University, and I'm co-chair of the prize committee with Libby Schweber from Reading University. Once again, unfortunately, we can't meet face to face, and we know that the prize ceremony therefore becomes a much more important event in the whole of the conference. And therefore, a bit like last year, I am celebrating that by dressing formally in order to acknowledge the importance of this. Importantly, in our changes that take place over the years, we have a variety of papers that come, and we are always interested in newness, new authors, new ideas, and excellence in our papers. And it takes something to actually write a paper in lockdown, and we're well aware of the difficulties that this has for people. So congratulations to everyone who managed to get a paper to the conference, and congratulations to everyone who managed to be shortlisted, and tremendous congratulations to those that are going to win a prize. So let me introduce you to the prize committee. We've got Professor Paul Chan from Delft, Dr. Craig Thompson from Glasgow Caledonian, Dr. Simon Smith from Edinburgh University, Dr. Vivian Chow from Loughborough University, Dr. Emmanuel Abugwe-Nimo from Brighton, and Libby and myself. A big thanks to all those for all the hard work that takes place from the end of July and through August. We have an awful lot of reading to do. Let me just explain the ARCOM Prize process. We've formalized this over the last few years in order to make ourselves accountable and to honor the ARCOM processes that we so love. So we get nominations from the referees of the papers. And remember, every paper is reviewed twice. Therefore, there's two opportunities for papers to be nominated. And those nominations are, as with the refereeing, are anonymous. And we feel this is an extremely important part of the double-blind peer review process of ARCOM. At that point, the conference chair and the chair of the prize committee review all the papers and add any more that they feel may be suitable prize winners. We then put all these papers, and this year there were 24 nominated papers. We put them out for further reviewing. That's 2 reviewers, and the chairs also have an overview of this process. And we ask the reviewers to rate each paper. Now, you will also note that it is possible, we understand that at this point we know who the authors are, so there may be conflicts of interest. Therefore, we check for conflicts of interest, and where this takes place, move them to different reviewers. At this reviewing stage, we're asking for positive and negative comments and what themes that the papers might be put forward to. When we get all those reviews back, and remember there were 24 papers that had to be reviewed twice, which is 4 to 8 reviewing sessions, and that can take quite a time, as I say, at the end of August and the beginning of July. We then sum all the reviews, but we average the reviews for each of the reviewers so that we normalize them, so that we know that some reviewers liked review highly and some more lowly. We found this process is extremely robust, and therefore we've been running it for a number of years. So from this rating, we actually shortlist, in this case, it was the top 11 papers. So we reduced 24 to 11. And then we look for putting the papers that we have against the themes. And I'll talk about what those themes are in the next slide. Therefore, every theme has 2 or 3 papers. These papers are then put out for further judging to 2 new reviewers, and again, plus the chairs, in order to have an overview. And what we ask people to do is, look at all the previous reviews and make argued selection. So, and this is where the written statement of selection comes in for the winners of each theme. We then collate everything together into a prize list and get it reviewed by the whole committee. This year, like last year, we have 6 prizes to award. And these are the same prize themes as in previous years. So we've got the Paul Townsend Award for Research into Practice, Rod Howe's Award for the conference theme, and remember this year it's about rebuilding and recovery. We've got the David Langford Award for Social Impact and International. We have an ARCOM Prize for Construction Transformation. We have an ARCOM Prize for Sustainability. And this year we've got one sponsored prize, the Emerald Prize for Theory and Methodology. I'd just like to say how much a pleasure it is to have so many papers being submitted for the sustainability theme. And it's interesting, each year the number of papers in each theme varies quite a bit. In past years we've had quite a number in the construction transformation area, but this year it's sustainability, which shows where people's interests are. So our first prize tonight is the Paul Townsend Commemorative Award for Research into Practice. We're looking for contributions that aid practice or explore practice in some way. And we're very keen, we're challenging current thinking on practice. So without more ado, let's see what the prize winner is. So the prize winner is Anna Hallstrom for a paper, The Dark Side of Collaboration, the risks of strong ties and collaborative project networks. Anna wrote this paper with Petra, who are from Chalmers University in Sweden. This paper adds a more nuanced understanding of collaborative networks and allows practitioners to explore the issue directly within their own projects. It is an excellent example of researching a practice-based problem and directing the results back to practice. So our next paper theme, next prize theme is the Rod Howe's Commemorative Award for the conference theme. And just to say, I haven't updated this slide from last year, but this year it's Recover, Restore and Renew. And what we're looking for is a new understanding of the theme. So the winner is a paper by Thao Thi Byung Bue on Towards Zero Carbon Building Refurbishment, a new conceptual framework for decision support tools. Now, this paper deftly tackles one of the collective future challenges of our industry. It examines the current application of decision-making tools to zero-carbon refurbishment for existing buildings, based on a critical literature review of academic publications from the past 5 years. Our next award then is the David Langford Commemorative Award for Social and International Impact. And what we're looking for in this award is advancing social impact internationally, where we're maybe exploring the relationship that the production of the built environment has with society. Now, we had a dilemma this year, so we decided to award a highly commended paper. So this paper is how compliance imperatives stifle the impact of social procurement. And it's by George Denny Smith from the University of New South Wales. The prize winner themselves is Gemma Bridgman and Martin Lusmore. And Martin is again from Australia, designing theoretically and evidence-based social procurement programs in construction, a capability empowerment approach. This paper addresses an important societal issue in a novel and interesting way. The paper uses Sen and Nussbaum's capability empowerment approach to evaluate the impact of a construction training program developed to reduce the risk of youth homelessness. The approach makes a valuable contribution to the measurement of social value more generally. We'd just like to note that both Gemma and George have actually been prize winners in this field before, and it's really good that they continue to provide such good and forward-thinking papers for the ARCOM conference. Our next theme then is the ARCOM Award for Construction Transformation, where we're looking at new thinking or practices in the transformation of industry, and particularly offering challenges to that current thinking, whether it's about practice or about methods in transformation. So the prize winner is Lynn Vossman and colleagues from the University of Twente for a paper exploring the innovation ecosystems concept for construction industry transition. This paper challenges the idea of transformation to include a resilient society. It develops the idea of an innovative ecosystem to include external stakeholders and the longer-term actors who enable a productive and sustainable environment. It certainly did push our thinking, and we were delighted to award it the prize. The next prize then is the ARCOM Award for Sustainability. As I said, we had a number of papers nominated in this theme, and where we're looking for the application, thinking, or practice of sustainability, whether it's about sustainability development goals, renewable and clean energy, the management of energy, water and resources, the control of the built environment, or pollution, climate, or other fields. So the prize winner this year is Martin Busa and colleagues from Chalmers University, Aarhus and Aalborg, an interesting international collaboration for a paper from concept to practice, implementation of circular building as a process of transformation. Congratulations, Martin. This paper explores the concepts of circular economy and traces how the concept is translated from idea through to implementation in 2 Scandinavian case studies. The theoretical approach is clearly articulated in the way they are linked to the empirical data, are coherent and expertly argued. The paper concludes with an outline of intended future research directions that promises interesting research with practical applications in organizational practice. Our last theme tonight then is our sponsored award by Emerald for the best theoretical and methodological paper. And obviously what we're looking for is excellence in theory or methodology or both, and encouraging the debates about it. So this year's prize winner is Anushika Akanyake from the Hong Kong Polytechnic University for a paper, The Dynamic Supply Chain Vulnerability Analysis of Hong Kong Zhuhai Macao Bridge Construction, a topic modelling approach. And it was this modelling approach that won these authors the prize. The Hong Kong Macao Bridge is a very high profile mega project, and here the authors has identified very suitable modelling methods to help better understand and incorporate supply chain vulnerabilities in project decision-making processes. And in that sense, it's very practical as well as theoretical. The paper will undoubtedly contribute to work in this area in the future. So, you know, at the end of our prize ceremony, congratulations to all the winners. You know, a certificate will be emailed out to you in the next few days, and a check from the ARCOM treasurer will also be on its way to you. This is my last year as chair of the prize committee, and I'll be handing over to Libby Schweber next year. It has been such a pleasure doing the prize process for the last umpteen years now, and I've learned so much, and it's been so energizing to see so many good papers, and it is one of the key points of the ARCOM conference. Thank you to everyone, and I look forward to seeing you face to face next year.
Thank you very much, David. An absolutely wonderful presentation of the awards. And can I, on behalf of ARCOM, congratulate all the awards recipients. And could I actually pass on gratitude to the prize award committee, who have given of their time tirelessly, as David said in his video, to actually work on being rigorous and detailed in terms of their selection of the award awardees. It's really having seen all the papers that passed through the conference, I'm absolutely delighted with the quality of the work, and the awards that David has announced really demonstrates that. At this point, I'd like to call upon our incoming prize-giving chairperson, Libby Schweber, Professor Libby Schweber, and Libby would like to say a few words about David and his contribution, because as you know, David is stepping down from the committee this year after many years of engagement. So I'm going to hand over to Libby to say a few words, and it's right and fitting that Libby would do this. You need to unmute, Libby, please.
Can you hear me now?
We can indeed.
Okay. As incoming prize committee, whatever, person in charge, whatever, Lloyd's asked me to say a few words. And the truth is that David's been involved with the ARCOM committee for so long that I've had to write down all of the different things he's done, because there's no way I was going to remember them all. But I just want to say, you know, I haven't been on the committee for that long, but I think when you meet David, I think you can't help but being struck, one, by his exuberance and his enthusiasm for everything that he does, his intellectual curiosity. He's genuinely excited about ideas, but especially in relation to ARCOM, his genuine commitment to PhD students and to supporting PhD students and encouraging them and making them really central to everything that ARCOM does. And he's going to be really sorely missed. just to give you a little bit of a sense of his contribution, I have to read a few things. So David joined ARCOM in 1993. He joined the ARCOM committee in 1996. He served as treasurer from 1997 to 2004. He was vice chair of ARCOM from 2004 to 2005. He was chair from 2006 to 2007, which means he presided over conferences in Birmingham and Belfast. He gave the keynote address at ARCOM in 2010 in Leeds on re-embodying construction, and he's chaired the prize committee for 2018 to 2021. And under David's leadership, the process, as you can see, because he's laid it out in the very beginning, there was a real commitment on his part to make sure that it was transparent, that it was fair, that the committee was accountable, and I hope that in some measure I can continue with that. But finally, I'd just like to close with David's own words about his time at ARCOM. He says, he met great people, he had great fun, he learned a tremendous amount, and he drank too much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Libby. Wonderful tributes to a wonderful member of ARCOM. And David, we will miss you, but certainly we hope that you will stay a part of ARCOM and come to the next face-to-face ARCOM conference in Glasgow. So at this juncture, it leaves me with one thing to add in terms of prize giving. As some of you will know from last year, I decided to actually award a presentation award and had advised members of the committee to let me know particular presentations that they felt merited consideration. And we've done the same again this year. And I'd like to announce the winner of that. And like David mentioned, certificates will be emailed out to award recipients, and in due course, the awards will be actually delivered to your address, and Chris Nielsen will look after that in due course. So the winner of the best presentation of that is paper 5052. How motivation and culture affects O&M knowledge sharing in school construction, a case study of a Swedish public organisation. And the paper was presented by Jessica Molan, and the co-author was Daniela Troje. So congratulations to Jessica and Daniela. You will receive an award in relation to your best presentation. So thank you for that. At this stage, I'd like to hand over to Apollo. Apollo, if you're okay to come in now and actually present the detail in terms of, as incoming conference chair, to present the detail for ARCOM 2022, please.
Okay, thank you very much, Lloyd. I assume you can all hear me, yes? Is that a yes? Okay. Right. I have a few slides just to highlight what I think we've all been talking about in terms of what next year's conference is likely to be. There's an open secret that we are hoping to be face-to-face in Glasgow Caledonian University come next September. I don't think there is any session in which the desire has not come through from almost everywhere, every individual, about this wanting to be face-to-face next time. And I can assure you that the committee, your committee, is committed to that, but of course there may be things that are not in our control, so that's why we've chosen those words. We expect to be face-to-face. And we will be working, we'll start working immediately after this conference towards that. Some work has already taken place, which we sort of brought forward from 2 years ago. So we will be keeping you updated on developments. I hope on your part you will also start preparing to be in Glasgow through, of course, I'll be mentioning later on the key dates for your papers and so on and so forth, but also preparing and making sure your vaccinations are up to date, so that there won't be hopefully any reason why you cannot join us in September next year. We are aware, as I mentioned a moment ago, that there is this strong desire, but we also know that there are other factors to take into account. We've heard of organizational constraints, particularly from universities, and we later on I will be requesting you to participate in a poll from the knowledge that you have so far in terms of the likelihood of you actually being able to join us face to face, given the constraints that you might you envisage having within your organization. That information will help us as we plan. But as I said, we already have the message. I think is very clear that we all want to be in Glasgow face to face next year. So I already mentioned that we have already done some work that we carried over from 2 years ago. This picture you can see is a picture of the main conference venue that we hope to be using. This is one of the main buildings, one of the new buildings, I believe, at Glasgow Caledonian University. We visited Glasgow Caledonian University in January, February last year. So your committee has been to these facilities, and we are sure that come next year you will confirm that Glasgow Caledonian University is a great choice for a venue. We have a new theme, but a theme that builds on what we've been doing over the last couple of years. This year, of course, we've been running with Recover, Rebuild, and Renew. But with the increasing knowledge we've had, particularly relating to impacts of the pandemic, of the COVID-19 pandemic, as well as information and knowledge that is continuing to emerge on various issues, including climate change and impacts of climate change, and so on and so forth. We feel that this Build Back Wiser is a theme that enables us to be reflective in terms of the things that have happened to us in the last couple of years, but also on the knowledge that was accumulated over the years, and starting to think about how we can use this information and react to these issues that we have encountered, some of them quite new things, such as the COVID-19 pandemic, in a manner that enables us to work out better and wiser ways of doing things. We acknowledge, of course, that the papers that we're going to see in September next year, the research perhaps has already been done. Maybe some of the research is being done now, but also some of the work is being planned. So there are different opportunities, if you like, to bring in these things. But at whatever stage the research is, we believe you can reflect, if you like, the ideas of building back wiser in the papers that will emerge from the research already done, the research underway, and the research you are planning. A number of ideas we have highlighted in the core. Actually, so I should have mentioned earlier that I'm sure you have seen the core in the documents to upload and also on the website. So there's some information that I won't be repeating because you've seen it. It will be on the website from now onwards. We will be updating some things, as I said, and we will notify you when we've done that and upload revised versions. But we've identified some ideas that you might use in reflecting on your work, on the work you've done, the work you're going to do, and the work that you are planning to do, that we will hopefully hear about in Glasgow in September. We've identified a number of things, some of which I have actually encountered in the sessions I have attended. We highlighted things like climate change, of course, the new information coming out. We highlighted things like the need for construction experiments. There was a session yesterday where, which was interesting, people talking about diets of construction workers and the research and that is going on and it needs to go on, which highlighted the need to understand things like the impact of diet and other, if you like, interventions on productivity. Things or relationships, I think actually can be approached from this general idea of construction management experiments. So there are a number of ideas that you can bring about to bear on the work that you will be presenting to us in September, reflecting this general theme of building back wiser. I know that there may be some people who have not been to, who are new to ARCOM and have not been to any face-to-face ARCOM conferences. This is the second year, of course, we are running a virtual conference, but also I know that a lot of us will be veterans of ARCOM conferences. So we know about the Monday evening, where we have an evening reception, normally with food and stuff like that. In 2022, this is going to be held at the Glasgow City Hall chambers. You can see some images there highlighting the exterior and the interior of the building. And this event is going to be is generously sponsored by Glasgow City Council. So that is something to look forward to. In the limericks that we were asked to compose, I didn't miss the fact that many of them were talking about this need to get back to our face-to-face conference, and also to engage in some activities such as having fun, drinking. I think one of the limits even commented or included the reference to wine. So on this Monday, there will be, as we see, it is an evening reception, it is a drinks reception, but I think on the day there will also be opportunities to invade. I'm using that word lightly, to invade some of the establishments in Glasgow city centre. Some of the fun and the enjoyment for some of us is probably going to start on the 4th, the Sunday, the 4th of September. So some of us will be in Glasgow on the 4th of September. So when you plan your travel, although the conference proper starts on the 5th, if you can afford, if you can manage to be in Glasgow on the 4th, we may be able to start the communion early, if I may use those words. Okay. Then again, those veterans of ARCOM will know that Tuesday evening is our traditional conference dinner, and in September next year, we are hoping we will be having that at the Kelvin Grove Art Gallery and Museum. It's one of the iconic buildings and venues in Glasgow. We will have the opportunity to indulge in art and architecture by visiting the Macintosh exhibition. Some of you might know about the Macintosh exhibition and Macintosh as an architect and artist, and the influence he had on Glasgow, and the legacy that still remains now in Glasgow. So we'll be able to, as we prepare for dinner, to have dinner, we'll be able to spend some time with the exhibition before having dinner in the great hall. Okay, and there was a comment earlier in one of the sessions, I think it was from Robbie, and commenting on something relating to sports. Again, those who were with us in Leeds in 2019 will recall that we had, I think it was a 5K run. So there are some, yes, there are some people who are quite sporty in our midst. Robbie was lamenting and thinking that we might have no more of these 5K runs. But I think he had forgotten that we've got a veteran long distance runner, a resident at the Glasgow Caledonian University in Craig, and I'm sure Craig will design for us both the casual and the serious runners a course to enjoy in September 2022. Craig says he doesn't promise that it will be sunny, but I think we can run in the rain, Craig. So don't worry. Just design the course for us. There's some comments from Will, but I leave that to you guys. So there may be some sports come 2022, and now let me just remind you of the key dates. And these dates are, of course, included in the core, which will, I would say, will remain on the website from now onwards. We're expecting your abstracts 14th of January, and the other dates are shown there. And as I said, I hope that you will start straight away after this conference, start reflecting on the work that you are already done, the work you are doing now, and the work that you plan to do. Weaving into those papers and abstracts ideas, bring us together in the theme of Build Back Wiser. Okay. Now, I did highlight earlier about the need to get more information from you, bearing in mind some of the constraints that you might have in your organization. So this is a point at which I'm going to ask you to, or before I do that, I just highlight to you that Glasgow, I think Craig and Nicola will tell you much more about Glasgow than myself, but Glasgow City has a lot to offer. Although Craig says it doesn't promise the sun, but I think September won't be that bad in terms of temperatures, so you can consider bringing your partners or friends and stay either for some days before or after the conference. We are privileged that we will have the support of the Glasgow Convention Bureau, which will be advising us, and I think it's an organization responsible for tourism, promoting tourism for individuals and groups. So if you need information and advice and stuff like that, we will be able to tap into the support from Glasgow Convention Bureau to help us and you, if you like, make the best of what you best of your stay in Glasgow. Craig is mentioning that there's blue sky today, so who knows? So anyway, I suggested that we'd like to get some more information from you in terms of your likelihood of being able to attend. So here is a poll we put together, okay, and I will be interested. I'm going to give you about 2 or 3 minutes just to indicate to us. This information is going to help us as we plan as a committee for conference 2022. So just please indicate. Looking forward, do you think you will be able to travel to ARCOM conference next year? You have to choose between one of those 3 options. We'll give you 2 or 3 minutes before I conclude. Thank you. Okay, keep going. That's good. Good response. I think we've got about half of the people have now responded. Keep going. Let's get a response rate to 100%. Yeah, I can see what you are telling us, which is in line with what we've had anecdotally and in the statements made at different sessions. I think we've got now about 41 responses out of the 57 in the call, and I see that 68.3%, that is 28 out of the 41, are saying they currently feel confident that they'll be able to travel, and just under 30%, so 12 people are not sure, but that is also good to know, because some of those might well be able to come. And I hope that it's all of them that over the weeks and months turn into being able to come. And what is reassuring is that there's sadly only one person who doesn't think that they can attend. So the message is very clear. It supports what we've had in different fora. Thank you very much. We'll work with that information to hopefully bring you this long-awaited face-to-face conference after these 2 years of virtual conferences. I'm not sure why Will says he has no way of entering a response. I think you have to tick. I don't know what you can see with. You should be able to see the question and 3 options, so you need just to tick which of those options you prefer. Yeah, just tick it. That's how you put in your response, Will. Thank you. Okay. Right. In 10 seconds, I'm going to maybe let me give you 30 seconds. In 30 seconds, I'll end the poll. So if, like Will, you are not sure how to put in your response, you just tick the choice that best describes what you're understanding at this point. And I can see that. So we now have responses from 44 people. 30 are choosing, suggesting that they feel confident that they can announce 31. So all very good information. Thank you all very much. Now the poll is ended. Right, now it leaves me to thank you very much for your time and your patience. You've hung on with us. Sorry we had some delays at the beginning, but I hope you understand. We've had a long day, but you stayed with us. And your ARCOM 2021-2022 committee looks forward to seeing you in Glasgow in September 2022. Thank you very much. Over to you, Lloyd.
Thank you very much, Apollo, and it looks very exciting for 2022. And I think that the poll indicates very interesting reading in that, I think we all want to be there in person. So we're all hoping that we'll be able to travel to Glasgow and interact in true ARCOM fashion in terms of collaboratively meeting one another, being able to discuss ARCOM research in true ARCOM fashion, where we actually can meet at the conference proper, but also in a face-to-face manner. It leaves me with just 1 or 2 items to close the conference with. Libby provided a very, very detailed thank you to David Boyd for his contributions to ARCOM over the years. And David is not the only one that will be actually leaving us from the committee this year. We have 3 other committee members who are stepping down and going to pastures new. And one of those was not available to actually participate in the conference, and that is Dr. Xu Ling Lu, should I say? And Xu Ling has contributed really, really greatly to ARCOM over the years. She performed the role of membership secretary, and Dr. John Spillane at the AGM today paid a great tribute to Xu Ling in terms of thanking her for making his inroads into the membership secretary role easy, because she had done all the groundwork and prepared the way for him. And I'd like to go on record in thanking her for her major contribution to actually bringing ARCOM into the 21st century in terms of membership elements. So thank you, Xu Ling, and we will miss you on the committee and certainly miss your contribution. The other 2 members that are stepping down are the 2 Alexes, Alex Coping, Dr. Alex Coping and Dr. Alex Opoku. Alex Coping is at the University of Bath, and Alex Opoku is at University College London. And both have made significant contributions to our committee in the short number of years that they've been on the committee. Alex Coping engaged in the international liaison role and did some sterling work behind the scenes in relation to actually putting the structure and putting reflections on where we were at in terms of our international collaborations. So thank you, Alex Coping, for that contribution and for your contribution over the years to the committee. And also then Dr. Alex Opoku is leaving us, and Alex Opoku made some major contributions and both in terms of ARCOM, major contributions to the sustainability agenda. And we're losing both Alexes in terms of them moving on. So on behalf of ARCOM community, I'd like to thank all 4 members of the committee who are stepping down, and wish you good health and good career moves in future as you navigate your own professional worlds. So finally, I'd like to thank you, the ARCOM community, for engaging in what was a really packed few days, and we actually had a depth of discussion and discourse that is really in true ARCOM style, even though we were remote from each other. But I personally really enjoyed both the formal and the informal sessions, and I just felt it was the true spirit of ARCOM. And I suppose I'm happy in the knowledge as well that one of the elements that's often difficult to get people to, maybe the online environment allowed this to happen, but our AGM today had the highest number of attendees that an ARCOM AGM has ever had. And that's, to me, shows things in good light for the future. I thank also all our partners who have been involved with us. I'd finally like to thank both Chris Nielsen, forever diligent and hardworking and totally committed to the ARCOM mantra. He has done huge work behind the scenes and has dealt with most people individually throughout the period of preparations for this conference. And then finally, I'd like to thank our IT consultants, IT Solutions, Kat O'Connell. Kat's work behind the scenes with Chris and the knowledge of what ARCOM does and the business that we do, and streamlining our connectivity on the internet, if you like, towards that has been really, really beneficial and helpful. And I'd really like to thank them both for the commitment and hard work that they've engaged with. So safe journeys to wherever you're going, whether it's down to the kitchen to have your dinner. Yes,
Lloyd.
Apollo?
Before you dismiss our delegates, can I take this opportunity, perhaps on behalf of all the delegates and the committee, to thank you, Lloyd, for the work you've done this year, particularly in chairing and organizing this conference. Some of us know the circumstances under which you've carried out these duties, your commitment and dedication. And I just want to say that you need to know that we really appreciate what you've done, and thank you very much from the committee and from the delegates.
Thank you very much, Apollo. That means a lot. So really, thank you for that. And I have been associated with ARCOM since 2010, and all of those years have been really enjoyable, and I've really had really good memories, and that's why I really want to soldier on in the tough times that I've had over the last 9 months. So thank you for that. So I really appreciate that. So everyone, thank you all for your contribution, and we'll see you all in Glasgow Caledonian in September 2022.